Welcome back to another episode of the GODSUccess Teach and Pray. Our leader of the week's verse is John 3:16. This is yours truly, MC and engineer, His Excellency Dakar. I am the Dean of Chaplaincy Program at GODSU and the CEO of DakarMarketingTools, an international graphic and printing company providing you with all your marketing needs to help you and your company grow. Our popular products are the GODSU African American Bible, as well as magazines, banners, flyers, and branded golf shirts and jackets. We have an announcement. Today is our Her Excellency Her Excellency Dean Dr. Stella Anoa's birthday. So happy birthday to her. Maybe at the end we can give her open song for happy birthday for her. But without any further ado, Dr. Willis Eubanks, please take us away.
For setting up and doing all the engineering. It's a lot of, like I said, he has hands all over the place. He's like an octopus. And when people are good at something, they make it look easy, but really appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Happy belated Thanksgiving, and hope that you had a great week. Let's keep those people that are continuing to travel in our prayers, because I understand the weather is really bad out there. When Florida is going to be in the 30s and 40s, we know that what the rest of the country must be looking like. So be careful out there. I'm super excited to be your host this week, and I want to thank Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith for doing a great job for me last week, and really enjoyed her sessions. I'm excited to be your host this week. The topic this week is love. It's one of the most difficult words, a simple four-letter word, but one of the most difficult words to describe, let alone in the Bible. The Bible tells us that God is love, and that human beings crave it. From the moment of distance, love describes an emotion with vastly different degrees of intensity. And we're going to talk about the four types of love that are in the Bible. Again, my name is Dr. Willis Eubanks, and I'm a servant of God. I am the Vice Chancellor of GODSU, which is Global Overday Seminary University. We want to thank you for joining us this morning if this is your first time. We're here Monday through Friday from 7:40 to 8:05 a.m. To uplift and encourage our GODSU family. Let us begin by praying. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable before thee, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Amen. According to the Bible, according to Paul, the Bible is a sword. And as Reverend Dr. Vicki Farmer-Stokes mentioned, a sword can be both offensive and defensive. Which is actually very important. According to the Bible, which is basically stands for Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, tells us that as complex as love is, we can actually describe it really that there are really just four types. Just like in the human body, God gave us four blood types: O, A, B, and AB. If you notice also that there are four legs typically to a chair, no matter what color the chair is, what type of chair, what type of design, typically we have four legs. Yes, you can have three legs, but four legs kind of symbolizes sturdiness and stability. Today we're going to talk about, we're going to set up an introduction for the four types of love, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll expand on those four types each day. The four types of love basically are, the first type is called agape, and these all come from the Greek. Agape actually means God's love for humanity. This is a unique type of love that's reserved for Jesus and God. In John 3:16, it says, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever should believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Second type of love is called storage love. And this is really love among family members. This is familiar love. For example, a love between a father and a son, or love between cousins. It's family related. A third type is either called philia or philios. And this is brotherly love that really unites us as Christians. But it's basically love between brothers and sisters. And again, this is the type of love that unites us as Christians. And we'll expand more on this during the week. Fourth type is eros love. And this is sensual or romantic love. And among the GODSU family, we have several. And if I missed anyone, please forgive me. Charge my head and not my heart. We have, for instance, eros love between Apostle Dr. Philip Ilisami and his bride, beautiful bride, Reverend Dr. Prophetess. We have love between Reverend Dr. Shola and Reverend Dr. Manretti. We have love between Dr. Agobio and his beautiful bride. We have love between Reverend Dr. Vicky and her wonderful groom, as well as Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith and her wonderful groom, as well as love between Dr. Joseph Hickman and his wife Shirley, Dr. Leo Pickett and his wife, Dr. Ordu and his lovely bride. Again, if I missed anyone, please forgive me. These are all, whether we're talking about agape love, storage love, philia love, eros love. All four types are actually found in all four forms are found in the Bible. This week, we'll actually characterize these four types, go into more depth, whether we're talking about romantic love, family love, brotherly love, God's divine love for us. And as we do explore, we'll discover what love really means and how to follow Jesus Christ's commandment to, quote unquote, love one another. I think my time is about up. I want to thank everyone for being on the line this morning. I do have a couple more minutes, so I'll just say that, you know, my whole goal of talking about love this week is that I believe love is in need of love, as Stevie Wonder said in his song. Love is a beautiful thing, but love itself is in need of love. What I mean by that is that we are killing ourselves. We are murdering each other. We're made in the image of God, male and female, according to the Bible. And so if God is love and we're made in God's image, then we should be exuding love to one another. So many times, murderers, these mass murders that are happening in the United States, these mass killings that are happening with knives in Europe, you know, I can say quite frankly, probably 90% that number one, they probably did not have a strong love with their father, their biological father, just like Jesus had with his father Joseph. I can probably tell you also that, yes, they're mentally deranged. They don't love themselves. They don't love themselves. The great commandment tells us to one, love God with all, every fiber in our heart, every cell in our body. Love God. That's number one. Number two, we're to love our neighbors and love ourselves. But if we don't love ourselves, we're going to kill not only ourselves, but we're also going to kill our neighbors because we don't care. We don't love. And that's what that four letter is so powerful. That's really the message I want to get across this week, that we need to love one another. That stranger that you see, you know, getting grocery out of the store, help them, you know, pack their car. You know, just say hello to them. Just good morning, hello. And so this is so important. And in the minute that I have left, I just want to reflect on something that was really powerful for me as an individual. And I think I saw that when I saw Obama get into office. I remember distinctly going into 2 or 3 different stores that day. I was dressed in a suit, yes, but I had people, strangers, coming up to me and saying, I'm so proud of this country. I'm so proud of Barack Obama becoming president. I mean, people were talking to me because I was Black, you know? And that was so wonderful. And I would love to see that happen, not just for one day, but I'd like to see it happen for a week. I'd like to see it happen for a month. You know, we had no mass murders in New York, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, the first time in decades. You know, let's continue to strive in that direction. We've seen what hate can do. I'm trying to think of the show. What's the name of the show that went off the air where people were killing each other? It'll come to me in a moment, but it was on for like 9 years, and they brutally killed each other in the worst forms. Let's exude love. God is love. We're made in God's image, male and female. Let us love one another. Go out and say hello to someone, and tell them how great Jesus Christ is. With all that being said, I want to thank you for listening this morning, and I will pass it on to my co-host. Co-host, take it away. Thank you.
And let it begin with me. Let it begin with all of us. I have so much love in my heart, and I know the Jesus love that's within me. So I love to share love. I thank God for love. Jesus, again, is love. So today I'm just going to go and continue to share. And sometimes you don't even have to say a word, just a smile. This is something you can do to show that you really have love in your heart. And I thank God for love, and I'm going to continue to show love. What this world needs more is love to love. God bless you. And I'm Dr. Henry Wilkinson, and my business is Shop Fashion Focus. Thank you.
Corinthians 16:14 NIV says, do everything in love.
The call dropped, everybody. Give us one moment while we read next.
In presentation mode. There are
All right, we're back on.
parties in the conference. This call is being recorded. You are a host.
It's meaning. I thank God that He loves me, and He loves all of us on this call. Again, 1 Corinthians 16:14. I encourage you all to do everything in love. This is Dr. Morris Red, Mind Over Matter Universal Transitional Coaching and Ceremonies. GODSU.
Can develop a healthy and robust community if you live right with God, if you love and you enjoy the results of that love. If you do the hard work of getting along and honoring each other and treating each other with dignity and respect, you will be demonstrating God's love in the earth. James, the 3rd chapter, the 17th verse, that wisdom comes from God, and it is first of all pure, then peace-loving, then considerate, then submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. May the love of God just capture us today so that we can be His demonstration on earth of what love truly is. This is Dean Joseph Hickman, Dean of the Honors Program and Managing Partner, along with my wife, of JH Global Consultancy, a cybersecurity, water development, and child immunization program for God. Amen.
I love to tell the story of unceasing love of Jesus and His glory, of Jesus and His love. I love to tell the story because I know it's true. It satisfies my longing as nothing else could do. I love to tell the story. fame and glory to tell the old story of Jesus and his love. Because John 3:16 says, for that he gave his only begotten Son. To have a life. This is Dr. Theo. Founder of our company, LP Community Foundation. Wife. And we offer service things through his therapy. Amen. The book of John, 1 John chapter number 4, from verse 16. And we have known and believed the love that God has loved us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Wherein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. Because as he is, so are we in this world. The message of love is the message that Jesus brought to this world. Without love, we cannot please God. We cannot see God. Without love, it will be difficult for us to run away from sin. God is love. This is Apostle Dr. Willis Eubanks of Call of Salvation and Deliverance Ministry, Vice Provost of Global Overday Seminary. Thank you.
Recognize that God is true to his word and meditate on the truth that loves you so much that he sent his perfect Son to be born into a sinful world so that he could have a relationship with you. In this season, we are in a world that you may not always practice love, but be encouraged. Get to know a God that sincerely loves you. He loves you not because of who you are, but because of who he is. I am Assistant Dean Dr. Cecilia Wilson Smith. I am the founder and CEO of Strong Sisters of Strength Ministries Incorporated. Thank you. The commandment of God for us is love each other as he has loved us. Whosoever loves lives in love, lives in God, and God is in him. The first thing God requested for is love. Loving us one another is a perfect thing that we even help us to. Anyone without love will be struggling to succeed in life. Love made prayer to answer. Love made God to go close to someone that really loves each another. Love make anyone that loves each other that have a make Holy Spirit to come close to the person. Without love, no one can see God. God bless us. This is Dr. Prophet Deborah, woman leader of the Call of Salvation worldwide. Have a blessed week.
Dr. Willis, of course, you would be the one to speak about love. It reminds me of a message that I shared at church while doing the announcements with His Excellency Dakar. And I first had Dr. Willis stand up, and I thanked him for imparting the knowledge of love and compassion on us. The sermon was about how a father's love can help you understand the love that God has for us as our Father, and as us being His children. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say for the rest of the week as it relates to love. And I know that you are the ideal teacher of this in the way in which you treat others and the way in which you see the world. This is Her Excellency Coach Cairo of Cairo Speaks, Cairo Writes, and I challenge each and every one of you to show love to one another, starting with yourself today. Thank you, our Chancellor.
Dr. Stella.
Blessings and greetings to all in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, who's really taught us to love. And as Her Excellency Cairo said yesterday at church, we talked about a father's love in terms of God's love for us and how he exemplifies that. So we, in return, know how to love our earthly fathers, and our earthly fathers know how to love us. What's amazing about the great men, especially men of color, like in that sense, Dr. Willis Eubanks, is that many of them grew up in situations where there may not be a consistent father figure. How do men like him then become great fathers? That's because there's a father up above, you know, and the great men in the church and the great uncles that he's had, the great father-in-law that he's had. And that's how he, in return, became the great man that he is today. So many of us need to look back and give that surrogate father love to the children of the single parent home, because that's what they need. And many times when the single mothers then marry others and they become stepfathers, they then need to step up and treat these children as if it's their very own. So today I ask to the men, especially men, who can you be a surrogate father for? Who can you be a mentor for? Which little boy, which little girl has needed? And for the women, please choose carefully. Please don't choose these men based on looks or based on dreams or based on, look at what you're actually, as I said, look at what you're working with, you know, and look, and before you even start dating someone, decide, is this someone long-term that you want to be married with and have children with? I remember when Dr. Willis and I got married, we waited, 10 years before we had our first child. You know why? Because we said we want to make sure that this is a relationship that God is blessing, that we not only look at each other and say, wow, that's a fine person over there, but in long term, in the next 10 years, we gave ourselves a decade and say, if in a decade we prove to be the parents that we ought to be, then we will become parents. So many of us, in terms of love and that amorous love, that we need to be very careful in our choices, because we affect the children afterwards if it's not based on the right criteria. I do want to say that here at GODSU, we say that 111, that we are in one space Earth, we have one race, which is human, and we have one embrace, which is love. And that's what keeps this university together, is love. And for those of you who are with us and who love us, the way love is not something you say, love is something that you show, love is something that you do. And the way you show love is every day, Monday through Friday, for 20 minutes, you put in your calendar to love on GODSU by doing the work of GODSU. That's it. So many people love lazy. That's right. I'm going to say it. They love in a lazy manner. They love and just sit there or lay there or whatever it is there, and the other person must do all the work. Doesn't work that way. Love is a two-way street. That's right. It's not a one-way where everything comes into you. I know some folks, very, very high folks, iconic folks that when it comes to relationships, when it comes to love, it's always in their benefit. Today, make it a two-way street. See who you can love in return, give back in return. Let's not love lazy. Let's love with action. God bless you. We love you. We are in DC this week. Yes. And we will see you. Please register to come to our conference. We can't wait to see you. God bless you. And before we go, we're going to sing happy birthday to Dr. Stella. 1, 2, 3. What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
The conference is now in conversation mode.
Okay, we're going to sing birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Dr.
Dr. Stella. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Happy birthday. Oh my goodness. The harmony. I love it. God bless you all. Happy birthday. Bye. That was working.